This is Raising.A.Dad.Solutions. I'm Robert, and I'm back talking to parents, in particular fathers, about this woke idea of a no toy Christmas. Shout out to SILive.com, fair use from SILive.com. I will not be playing any videos that may pop up in this article. So let's get to it. No Toy Christmas, the title in their news section is No Toy Christmas, the latest bit of woke parenting nonsense. And this is an opinion piece published on December 25th, 2022, Christmas Day. Let's get right to it. A little background about myself. I am from Mississippi. Up until the age of 18, 21, I wasn't living at home at 21. I was in college. But up until the age of 18, I never experienced a no toy Christmas. I didn't know that existed. But as I got older, I did realize that everybody wasn't quote unquote Christian or a part of the Judeo Christian culture or took part in the Judeo Christian culture. So everybody didn't celebrate Christmas as I thought they did growing up from my growing up pattern. Uh, so I get uh, the idea of a no toy Christmas because everybody does not celebrate the idea of Christmas from the historical perspective of it, nor from the consumerism. But let's get to it. No toy Christmas, the latest bit of woke parenting nonsense, and this is an opinion piece. I actually talked to my brother, and he was saying that and I didn't talk to him about this article, but I did talk to him, and he was saying that he and his wife were not celebrating the tradition, but they were allowing their children to get the toys. So that made sense. So no toy Christmas, the latest bit of woke parenting nonsense. As you can see in the article from the image, that Santa Claus came to town, but Santa Claus drove past town. So don't bother at asking. In parentheses, Staten Island Advance. I guess that's the publishing source of this image. The article was written by Tom Robleski, and you can find him at wrobleski at siadvance.com. Let's get to it. Staten Island, New York. No toys for you. That's the latest craze in woke parenting, if you haven't heard. Now, woke parenting is a concept that is new to me. I've heard of the term woke, but I guess they're attaching this term to other nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, whatever. A different part of the English lexicon. And I hope I'm using these terms correctly. If I'm not, leave me a message in the description box below. Say, hey, you need to work on your English. But woke parenting, let's see what's going on. It's the brainchild of a legion, of TikTok moms. And TikTok is coming under fire from various agencies and institutions across the country. I know in the state of Maryland, their goal is to block people from using TikTok on their employee government phones. Who, when they're in the office, those phones that are attached to the people working in the office, use it on your personal, but not on your government phone, not on your work phone. It's the brainchild of a legion of TikTok moms who think that trendy Christmas gifts are a waste of money and could send their kids into frenzied meltdowns on Christmas morning, according to the New York Post. Shout out to the New York Post. And again, fair use on this article. So, TikTok moms, I guess that is a trending topic on TikTok. Personally have a TikTok page. I haven't looked up this term TikTok mom, but because on TikTok the articles or the videos just pop up, so I hadn't specifically run across one that said TikTok moms, but I'll be on the lookout for it. Uh, Now they have a point regarding trendy Christmas gifts are a waste of money. I'm not going to particularly say they're a waste of money, yet come time for January when most families, from popular concepts that I've learned growing up, when most families receive those credit card bills, those payday loan bills, those personal loans they got to pay back to individuals or other groups where they took the funds from, or when they go to check their savings account or their checking account or whatever account that they use, or tick, I'm not tick, but crypto accounts. When they go to check those accounts are low, and the interest rates can be high for gifts that they chose to get their children. Um, I myself believe in giving gifts, but not to the extreme where I would call it a waste of money. You give what you can, or you matter of fact, you have 350 50 you have one day to give the gifts to your children, so you have 364 days to save. So you save $1 a day, which is not hard to save $1 a day. Really, you could save $1 a day in 2 days, 3 days, a week. Just put back $364 and just say, hey, I saved it over the course of a year. Um, but it's not a waste of money. But I get what they're saying by it may be a waste of money. And let's continue. And could send their kids into a frenzied meltdowns on Christmas morning, according to the New York Post. Now, if that child doesn't get what they want, then it could potentially become a frenzied meltdown. I remember growing up, I had did I have a job at that time? I was about 16 or 17, and I wanted an Xbox. I'm 38 now, so let's go back 22 years. Was it an Xbox? I was like, yeah, I'm going to get an Xbox. I'm going to get an Xbox. I'm going to get an Xbox. Christmas Day, I didn't have an Xbox. I was like, wow, my mom did get us an Xbox. And I was flabbergasted. But you know what? There was no reason for me to complain to my mom that I wanted an Xbox. I was 17, 16, 17, so I went and got a job, and I saved up my money in that March of the after that Christmas, which I believe was maybe 2001, 2002 maybe. I went and purchased my own Xbox, and I felt great about it. I can't remember the first. I think one of the games I had was a football game, and it was a character character shooting game. It was an adventure game that I had, but I had a blast because I bought it myself. It was my own project, and I bought my own Xbox, and I bought myself some games. I felt great afterwards. I felt like I was on top of the world because I had become a consumer, and I can control what I did with my own money. So, although I didn't have a meltdown on Christmas, I did get what I want eventually. I had to just save for it, get a job, save for it. Let's continue. You know what really sent the kids into a frenzy? Not having any gifts to open on Christmas morning while all their friends, cousins, and schoolmates are showing off their shiny new toys and video games on social media, including TikTok. Now, when I was growing up, we didn't have a social media platform to show off our gifts. We showed them off in the neighborhood. And we walked outside with our new clothes. We couldn't take the video game outside. But on the next day, after all the paper was up, all the gift wrapping was up, and all the houses were clean, we would just go from house to house playing the different video games that we had. Because some of us, it was only two main video systems out: Xbox and PlayStation. Nintendo also, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and different friends would have different systems, and we would go to house. We didn't have to go on social media to say, "Hey, look what I got," because our friend group was right next door to us. Our friend groups were not online. And that's a topic that's also, and I'll be mentioning this more. I may even start a new channel about this, but I am a sociologist by education wise, master's degree holder. Shout out to my institution that betroth. I think that's the word, betroth, that master's of science and community development, i.e., a sociology degree on me. Um, But we didn't have to show off to online. We showed off to our friends, and it wasn't even showing off. We actually enjoyed carrying our gifts out into the street and playing together. We had basketballs, baseballs, bats, gloves. We didn't share clothes like that, but we shared what gifts we had. And it was funny. It said showing off their shiny new toys and video new toys. After about 2 weeks, those toys weren't shiny anymore. They were dirty. Basketball was in the backyard or busted. Your basketball goal was leaning. Your football was gone because it probably was thrown over a fence where a dog was, and nobody was going to mess with that person's dog. All right, so and that's what those are. And I lived in a great neighborhood, but after a couple of weeks, the shininess was worn off. But you know what was still there? That waste of money that those parents talk about. Although I do believe in giving gifts, there was a waste of money, and those TikTok moms have a point. Um, but in this paragraph, the writer has a point too, that um, these kids will go into a frenzy on Christmas Day, and that's a long 24 hours. But after that 24 hours or 72 hours, by the time they go back to school, it'll be out of their system. But it's a time that during that time period, I feel there would be a time for parents to come together with their children and talk about these things. Build a communication between the parent and the child. This is during the Christmas time, during the Christmas holidays, after Thanksgiving, Black Friday on, is a time for parents and children to communicate verbally about expectations. Because just taking them to the store and saying get what you want, or I'm not going to buy this, and don't pick that up, and don't break this, and we don't have enough money. There's a time for deep discussion about what's about to take place. And this should be done annually. This should be done every day, but this should be done annually. This is what's going to happen around this Christmas season. As a matter of fact, if done right, parents should set their child up. Parents can set their child up to build a plan the day after Christmas on what kind of research are you going to conducting for the next year up until the next Christmas, so that you can get what you want, and that can possibly benefit you besides being a shiny new object on Christmas Day that's going to be tossed uh, to the trash bin within the next couple of weeks. Let's continue reading the article. Fair use. The fact that these 30 something moms are on TikTok, and that is I'm Gen Y, I'm a millennial, so these are Gen X parents, Gen Y and Gen X parents. A platform for kids. This is a shot. This writer, Robleski, I believe is his name, is taking a humorous jab at these parents, and the endlessly self-absorbed should tell you all you need to know about them. Yeah, that's a jab. That's why this is an opinion piece. One mom, Gabrielle Flores, hey Miss Flores or Gabrielle Flores, hey, I'm just reading the article. There's no shade on you. Talk to Mr. Robleski. Said that she didn't want to stress out over buying gifts for her kids. Poor thing. So is the no toy structure meant to shield her kids from crass materialism, or just to make her own life easier? That's a good point that the writer has. What is the purpose of this no toy structure regarding Christmas? Another side of it is those who own the means of production that make these products, that create these products for parents to purchase for their children for Christmas, is also taking money out of those who own the high capitalists, those who own the means of production. This no toy structure, this no buying for Christmas, is also taking money from their coffers. We'll see if they get into that. That's just an idea I've always thought about. But what about the people who are creating the product? They're not getting paid if people don't buy the product. Let's continue. Gabrielle Flores, as mentioned above, has instructed friends and family members to give her kids practical gifts like the dreaded socks or educational excursions. Hey, that's a powerful idea about the educational excursions. Regarding the dreaded socks, I don't have anything to say about that. That sounds personal. I'm all for educational excursions. We took our kids to lots of museums, battlefields, science centers, and historical sites when they were growing up. But you don't give trips like that as Christmas presents. You should take kids on educational excursions all the time. It's called parenting. Well, article writer, so is not wanting to spend all your money on Christmas. It seems as if this art. I mean, this is a great opinion piece. I mean, it's a published opinion piece. But it seems that this writer has a problem with people not wanting to spend for Christmas. And to say it's called parenting for taking your children on educational excursions, is it parenting? And this is just a question that I have. Is it parenting for buying gifts when you may or may not have the funds to spend on Christmas gifts? Considering that at this time period when this article was written, our country is supposedly going into a deep, dire recession. It would make sense not to spend excessively, or in the term you use, crass materialism. It would make sense not to spend so much on these Christmas gifts. But let's continue. Sure, getting the right gift for your kids is always stressful. No, it's not. It shouldn't be. Just get a gift. If they don't like it, fine. If they like it, fine. But at some point, you can't always make your child happy. You can't even make yourself happy most of the time as adults. And other people can't make us happy. I remember those years when I had to trudge up to the American Girl store in Manhattan to get the right doll or accessory. And that was a tightrope walk with two daughters close in age. What you did for one, you had to do for the other. Or the year I attempted to put together a game table that had a basketball hoop and foosball court, only to have the thing creak and collapse at 6 o'clock on Christmas morning after hours of hair pulling assembly. Handy with tools. I'm not. Hey, that's a great story that you have about Christmas, and so I understand. That's a story that you always as the writer or the person who that tale was about. They'll always have something to discuss and laugh with regarding Christmas with their children. But Christmas, su- I believe this cerise is rite of passage for parents. It's a crass materialism for parents. Getting the right gift, getting the wrong gift, enduring the holiday traffic and the lines in the store. No, that's just that rite of passage leads to people being upset, people being highly stressed out. Stress should not be a rite of passage with regard to Christmas shopping when it comes to parenting. That's a fallacy, and this is why this is an opinion piece. But let's carry on. Telling yourself that you're not as annoying as all the other annoying parents who are looking to grab the exact same gift you are. And yes, parents can go overboard. They shower their kids with every gift they want. Every gift. When you say they want, is it what the parents want or what the child want? That's not healthy either. Nor is forgetting that there is an actual religious underpinning to the holiday, at least for some of us. That's important too. That's important. A lot of us can forget that there's a religious underpinning, whether we believe in the birth of Christ or don't believe in the birth of Christ. Majority of us say Merry Christmas, and it's spelled with Christ. Yeah, some people use the X, and when the X comes up, there's always a point of conversation. It's not Xmas, it's Christmas. Don't forget Christ and Christmas. This is about Jesus' birth. That's a popular conversation that's always had with regard to Christmas. But no Christmas gifts at all? Somebody should call social services on these so called parents. That's child cruelty. I really think that this is a joke. This article is humorous because if it wasn't, they would have had an exclamation point on that's child cruelty. And sometimes kids do get frenzied, either too excited or too despondent, depending on the gift. They're envious of the gifts their siblings get. Some kids are never satisfied. Hey, Roblinski, some adults are never satisfied. You know what, though? They get over it. Yes, they do. And some adults never get over it. Looks like you're probably not going to get over this one because you have a published article. Let's continue. They forget the years when they didn't get exactly what they wanted for Christmas. They remember the good times, or they put the bad times in better perspective. Trust me. And that spectacularly lousy gift sometimes becomes part of family lore, something we joke about every year. And I just said that the issue that the article that the writer had regarding the foosball table breaking 6 a.m. on Christmas morning, that becomes a part of the familial lore as the family grows older. They can always talk about it. It's always when the conversation's running dry, you can always go back to that to rebuild for the next part of the conversation. Using those lived experiences is very important. I'm glad my kids are older now. You know how to spend their money on Christmas. You got to spend other money for other things, but you don't have to worry about Christmas. But maybe for the grandkids, they take care of each other when it comes to cool gifts like video games and manga. I stress out a lot less, I bet. But if woke moms and dads don't want to buy gifts for their little kids, I hope they also don't buy gifts for each other either. Fair is fair, and that is fair. That is fair. Mr. Roblinski or Mr. or Mrs. Roblinski. Let me see, what's the name? Tom Roblinski. Hey, you got a point. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. And maybe they shouldn't buy gifts. And if they don't buy gifts, then those who own the means of production or the high capitalists, they may be in a little bit of a pickle if their income is dependent on your last statement of maybe parents, if they're not buying gifts for their children, maybe they shouldn't buy gifts for each other during the holiday season. Once again, this is Raising.A.Dad.Solutions. I'm Robert, and I'm back talking to fathers about the stress involved during the Christmas holiday. Thank you all for your time, and look for the YouTube short. Watch it. Take a look at it if you see this video. I have a TikTok, YouTube, of course, where you'll be watching this video. We have Instagram, Twitter, I believe a Facebook page, and hopefully we'll be getting a Roku and Amazon Fire TV channel soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you all soon.